Hi, I'm Dennis Rodkin. I write the Deal Estate column for Chicago Magazine, and this is DEQs, where I answer readers' real estate questions. Gary in Chicago asked, I'm buying a fence for my house. As far as increasing the value of the home, is it worth getting a composite fence over a wood fence? Gary, the short answer is that there is no difference between the two materials in affecting the value of your house. I spoke to Dave Skibby at Residential Property Advisors, who said that there hasn't really been a study of similar houses on every other count, number of rooms, construction year, size of the lot, those sorts of things, and only parsing out the difference between the two types of fences. He couldn't do that on a small scale. Nobody's done it on a large scale. And what he said is that a fence is a fence, really. So it doesn't really affect the value of your house in a technical sense. But let's talk about the non-technical senses, the more sort of emotional or qualitative kinds of ways. There is one way that the material of your fence could ding the value of your house, and that is if the village code or the homeowner association rules don't allow composite. And there are some that do not allow composite fences that want the traditional wood fence. If you then had a composite fence, then at sale time, somebody would have to pay for the cost of replacement, which would affect the value of the house. But then the other factor is not a direct effect on value, but more of a perceived effect on value. And this could happen in two ways, one positive, one negative. The positive would be a composite fence is well known to be lower maintenance, and so buyers may see a house with a composite fence as having a lower cost of operation than a house with a wood fence. So that would be a positive way that the perception would be this is a better value, the house with the composite. The negative would be, does a composite fence look fake? There are some that really look cheesy. And especially in front of the house, you don't want something that detracts by looking as if you went for the cheap stuff, even if you didn't, even if the composite was more expensive. I talked to Dick Rootsonen, who's at DuPage Residential Inspections, and he said it always happens in inspection. The inspector looks at the important mechanicals, the drainage issues, the roofing, the furnace, and thinks of those as the sorts of things the buyer should pay attention to. But buyers, he said, always go back to the cosmetic issues when they decide whether a house is valuable to them. So if they're looking at a fence and saying, boy, it just doesn't look right to me, that would have a negative effect on the value of your house. Those, again, are perceived effects, not real effects. So what you should really do is decide which one can you spring for. Thanks for your question. Send me more at dennis@rodkin.com.